The security environment in Europe has changed, and so NATO is responding.
Can the North Atlantic Treaty Organization adapt to the challenges of the 21st century? Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. NATO defense ministers wrapped up 2 days of talks in Brussels last week. For the first time since the end of the Cold War, the alliance decided to expand the number of command headquarters. And to face the rise of extremism, the leaders agreed to a new training mission in Iraq, something the United States has been pushing for. CGTN's Mariam Zaidi has more from Brussels.
The message at the 2-day summit of NATO defense ministers was clear. In a challenging security environment and with the ongoing threat of terrorism, DPRK and Russian aggression on their border, the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance was in need of an upgrade.
Last November, defense ministers agreed in principle to the design for an adapted NATO command structure. It will place greater focus on maritime security, logistics and military mobility, and cyber defense.
Allies agreed to form 2 new command hubs, a joint force command for the Atlantic to help protect sea lines of communication between North America and Europe, and a second hub to improve rapid deployment of troops and equipment within Europe. Adaptation and repurposing of the alliance was welcomed by the US, who under Donald Trump have been pushing European NATO allies to do more, especially as the European Union has taken its own steps to strengthen its cooperation in security and defense.
I am confident of that. It will take constant work because, of course, any organization will always expand. It's kind of in the nature of international organizations, but there is a clear understanding to include in written EU documents that the common defense is a NATO mission and NATO mission alone.
Defense ministers also agreed to establish a long-term training mission in Iraq to keep terrorism at bay after the defeat of ISIS in Iraq and Syria.
We need to stand at the side of Iraq, the whole Iraq, the central government as well as the Kurdish regional government, to go into a stage of stabilization, of reconstruction and of capacity building.
NATO is moving forward, but expansion requires more defense spending. And currently only 8 allies are on track to meet NATO guidelines to spend 2% of their GDP on defense this year. Mariam Zaidi, CGTN, Brussels.